pandemic is this disruption of a world pandemic is an opportunity for a change that we might need, listening to you. Of course, after 10 months of COVID, nothing will take us back to December 19. But can we begin to imagine a new reality of a post-pandemic world? You know, the job market, the real estate businesses, the family, the leisure culture, performing arts, everything changes right now.
Yeah, we have no choice. We need to reimagine a new future, because we can't go back to the past. It's impossible. Even before COVID.
The vaccine won't help us go to the past, of course.
The vaccine will help us, of course. It will make things, more manageable.
But it won't take the time back.
We can't go back. We were already in a process of rapid change, fueled by new technologies. COVID just accelerated it. Changes that we thought would take 10, 20 years, like moving a lot of courses in the university online, they happened within 3 weeks or 3 months because of COVID. But they were already underway anyway.
There's now no reason to live close to work or close to the academic center.
Yeah.
There's no, the city centers are losing their function right now.
Yeah, everything is being digitalized. Everything is being monitored.
And the elderly are isolated.
You have not only the elderly, also the young are isolated, and we are in the midst of a tremendous social upheaval. We can't go back, but it doesn't mean that the future has to be bad. It's often said that you should never allow a good crisis to go to waste, because a crisis is an opportunity to also do good reforms that in normal times people will never agree to, but in a crisis you see we have no chance, so let's do it. And we can react to this crisis in very different ways. You can react to the crisis by generating hatred, blaming the epidemic on foreigners, on minorities. You can react to the epidemic by generating greed. How do I make as much money out of it as possible? You can react by generating ignorance, inventing and spreading all kinds of ridiculous conspiracy theories. Bill Gates created this epidemic in a laboratory to take over the world. Or you can react by generating wisdom, believing science, realizing that in this time of crisis you have to follow science, not these conspiracy theories. You generate not hatred, but compassion, finding ways to cooperate with people in your country and all over the world. Because the big advantage of humans over viruses is that we can cooperate in ways the virus can't. A virus in China can't give advice to a virus in the US about how to infect people. But doctors in China, in the US, and Israel and Brazil can come together, share information, share the results of their observations, experiments, in order to develop treatments, vaccines. And it's not just insights about the virus. It's also psychological insights, economic insights. Countries all over the world are facing the same problems. Why should every country repeat the same mistake? If one country tried something and now it realizes the economic and psychological damage of its wrong decision, it should freely share this information with other countries. We need this kind of global cooperation. We need a global safety net to protect the weakest members of humankind from not just the epidemic, but the economic consequences. If we do that, we'll be able to not just face this crisis, but face much bigger future crises, like the ongoing climate emergency and the rise of artificial intelligence and automation. We'll be able to face them much better. On the other hand, if we, COVID, historically speaking, is a relatively small crisis. As a disease, it's a relatively mild epidemic. It kills something less than 1% of mortality. This is nothing like the Black Death of the big influenza of 1918 or AIDS. AIDS in the 1980s, you got AIDS, you died. 100% mortality. So COVID is a very mild disease in comparison. It's like nature has been throwing us a practice ball. Let's see how you deal with that before I really bring out the big guns like climate change and like the rise of AI. If we can't unite as a species against this virus, then our chances against the ecological crisis and against the technological disruption of AI and bioengineering is really, really distressing to think about it.